What's happening, guys? Kenny here again, and today I've got another hype versus reality review, and this is going to be about this big guy. That's right. This is the Spyderco Police 4 with K390 steel, made in Seki City, Japan. And yeah, this is a big knife, guys. As you can well see. I'm going to go ahead and put the specs on the page right here, just so I don't waste your guys' time. And, you know, we all know this is a big knife, so I'm not going to go too into it, but this is a giant knife, guys, by those specs. And we'll go right into some size comparisons so you can really get an idea of how big this knife is. That's right, we got a little pair 3 to make this guy feel like he's just a little big, just a little bit. And then we'll go ahead and bring in a PM2. Still making this guy look big. And then go ahead and bring in a Manix 2. Lightweight. Then we'll bring in some Benchmade's. 940 as usual. I know most of you guys have those. Go ahead and bring in a Freak. This thing has been put to work, guys. Oh, Steve. Sorry, buddy. I am putting this thing to work, as you can see by that blade. Yeah. You guys can see this knife is dwarfing most of these knives I'm putting out. Now I'm going to bring in some knives that kind of make him feel better about himself. Yeah, that's right. Recon 1. And then we'll go ahead and bring in the Bad Monkey from Southern Grind. Oh, and I do have one more. Yes, and I do have one more Spyderco that I cannot do this video without. And that is the military. So yeah, this is a very large knife, and I'm going to go right into this hype versus reality review. And the hype on this guy, the reason I wanted to get him, the things that drew me to this knife. Honestly, it was, for one, it was mostly the K390, guys. Let's just be real. I'm a steel nerd, and I wanted to get my hands on some K390. If there was an Urban, they do have an Urban that they made in K390, and if they had that knife, I might have gone for that over this. Not necessarily, but it would cross my mind just because it's a more like EDC friendly knife. But the other things that made this one, ideal was it was like a work knife. I wanted to get something that I could just throw in my pocket if I was working as a carpenter, or if I was downstairs in the garage, that I just don't have to worry about. It's just a beast of a knife, you know. I can cut, if I'm cutting tons of material, it had a long blade, and it was just a work knife, you know, just really tough and durable, and K390's tough, so I wanted to try it. It was light and slim for the size, you know, from what I could see, and the insane cutting performance of having such a long blade. That was really the hype, guys. That's what made me want to go for it. It's not that complicated. There's not a lot to the hype here. Not a lot of people hype this knife up. So it was more about, I know the Police has been a big model for Spyderco for many, many years. So it has been a good model. And then the K390 on top of that, I wanted to try it. So the reality, guys, there wasn't a lot of hype, but the reality when it came was, man, that's a big knife. When I got it out, I was like, holy crap. Videos and pictures cannot do this thing justice, guys. This is a beast. It is a beast. It's not super thick stock thickness, but just the length and the length of the handle, it's just a big knife, guys. And yeah, that was the first thing. That was the first thing you notice, obviously, because there's just no way to get around it. Other than that, the action was fairly stiff when I first got it. It has worn in very nicely. I can Spidey flick it. I can thumb flick it. It drops down very nicely. I won't even give it a shake. And it just drops down to my finger, thanks to this nice front finger choil there. And yeah, it has worn in nicely. Then, as I used it, this blade is a slicing beast. It's got like, I think, a 4.4 inch blade. I'm not sure what the cutting surface is. Let's see, we got one, two. Sorry, I gotta do this from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so 4-inch cutting edge, and just amazing slicer, guys. I mean, when I'm cutting boxes, I don't have to worry about where I am on the blade, especially since it has this plunge grind straight into the blade. It just never have to worry. Just slice. Don't even worry about it. That was great. It carries well for its size. It's not really deep, you know. I did put a different clip. This comes with the one with the hole on it because it goes over that. I don't like that. I wanted to go tip up. Even though on knives like this I don't mind tip down because I keep it in my back pocket. And I actually would have kept this one tip down, but I'll get to that why I didn't. But yeah, I put my clip from, I think, one of my pair of 3s on it. And it sits high. But for a work knife, I don't really care. And you get a good grip on that to pull it out of your pocket when you got gloves on and stuff. So with a work knife, I don't mind having some extra grip to pull it out. And people know I have a knife when I'm working, guys. So I'm not really worried about that. And I'm not talking about at work at the surf shop. I'm talking about when I'm doing carpentry. But yeah, that's excellent. You know, the carry is great. And the weight is great for the size of this knife. Yeah, 4.51. You know, you're getting 4.5 inches of blade. That's pretty good. That's pretty good for weight. And then it's just thin. You know, it's really thin, guys. I got my calipers here. We'll do behind the edge and stuff. But, you know, yeah, it's like 3/8 of an inch. That's insane, guys, for how big of a knife this is. It just hides in the pocket. It is a little wide, but you know, most Spydercos are, and it does hide away nicely. It cocks back. So even in the front pocket, this guy is not bad. Not bad in the front pocket. So enjoyed this. Much more so than like the Recon. The Recon's a lot more of a beast in the pocket. This one's definitely hides a lot more. Even than the military, I feel like. This is a little more hidden away. But that's not necessarily saying I like the other ones less or anything. I'm just these are all observations and mostly objective things. This isn't like a subjective part of this. So yeah, the carry is excellent for what it is. The ergos are excellent, guys. For how thin this is, it fills the hand very well because of how broad it is in the handle here. And these little curves aren't like so much that it's going to bother your hand no matter what size your hand is. I can grip this wherever and it feels good. I can come back here and it feels good. I can go here, it feels good. I can come all the way up. I can go all the way up into the finger choil. Everything feels awesome. Really good ergos. And actually the ergos is why the clip is here. On this knife, they do the clip broader, and I don't know how they do it, but it doesn't bother me in this configuration at all. It actually fills the hand. On the Police, when I put the clip here, when it just bothered me. It did not, it dug into my finger. The ergos weren't great with the clip up at the top. So yeah, that was the ergos. The ergos are great. I'm really impressed by that. The K390 has been great. I'm going to go into I'll show you guys some cutting with it. This also is going to be showing you how I love the blade length, because I never have to worry about how thick the material is I'm going through. I would have 2, maybe even 3 thick on the cardboard and just go right through it. You know, double walled cardboard, like double thick, and just going nuts through it. never had to worry anything about where this blade is on the material. And in hand, it was excellent in all the cutting I did. I did do excessive amounts of cutting with this, and it held an edge excellently on the factory edge. Then you guys saw the toughness test with this K390. It held up pretty well through that. It did like right in between, I feel like, the Crewwear and the S110, but it has the edge retention of S110 without with being more tough, which is really nice. I was really impressed by the steel. I am gonna send this out to Kurt to have tested. That's partially why I'm doing this review right now, because I want him to test it and show you guys what this is at. Then I'll send it to Steve, and Steve can test it. Steve can do a cutting test with it. Yeah, it's still rocking the edge of the that edge, and I've still been cutting with it, and it's not horribly dull. It's definitely time to get sharpened again, but instead of sharpening this guy, I'm just gonna send him to Kurt, let him test it, and then send it to Steve, and then Steve can sharpen it before his testing. I'm not gonna sharpen it now and kind of waste the sharpening, waste my time. Even though I do want Kurt to be able to use it, see if he likes this knife, but he does like big knives. So anyways, yeah, just been an excellent knife all around. The fit and finish is the one thing I'll say. Seki City is not known for the fit and finish, guys. I was not blown away by the fit and finish on this knife. The blade is done very well. All the grinds are done very well. The factory edge was done well. Not anything to do with the blade. Primary grind is done well. Yeah, not anything to do with the blade. Jimping's done well. It's just the handle, guys. You can see there's gaps. I don't need to even explain to you guys. There's just gaps all over. This is not terribly smooth. You can feel the transitions and stuff. But it's not horrible. It's not to the level of, say, like, you know, your Tai Chung or your Golden Colorado. It's just not to that level. But in saying that, for $200, you're not paying for the fit and finish. If this was Tai Chung, this would be a $400 knife probably. Maybe not that much, but you know, at least $250, $275, something like that. But it's done okay. You know, it's really just about this guy right here. This is the star of the show. You got 4.5 inches of freaking beast K390. This is the star of the show here, guys, and honestly, fit and finish is just secondary because this is a work knife anyways. If you guys are carrying this as your gentleman's carry, damn. Damn. I can't imagine, but yeah, the centering's off. It goes back and forth, like if I open it and close it. Sometimes it'll be centered, sometimes it won't be. Doesn't bother me at all, really. Especially with a knife like this, does not bother me. I did not polish this. I know you can polish the back. I had a subscriber, thanks bud, for telling me, you know, I've done it too. I did it on my Delica, polish the back, polish the lock bar and everything, and it made the action a little smoother if you polish this back of the tang. But the action smoothed up very nicely, so I really don't find it necessary to take this thing apart right now because it's really nice. Very smooth. I'll show you guys even just very smooth. I'm really impressed by this knife, guys, and I'm finding it hard to get rid of it, honestly. I was going to sell it because my military kind of stole the show a little bit. I mean, someday I'll do a comparison of these two, but the military stole the show for me on this one. But not everybody would agree. So I would say, like, if you can put these two in hand to make a decision between them, I think these would be the two that kind of are competing in my mind and in my pocket. These two compete. Although this one's more, I find it more of an EDC. Like, I will carry this guy in my back pocket, like I said. Whereas this guy, just a little bit, I don't know. I don't know why this one seems like I can carry it a little more. This one just has that extra bit of blade that just makes it like, holy crap. It's really not that much, but for some reason in my mind it makes a difference. But yeah, so that's the reason I kind of don't carry this guy as much. I do carry him a lot though when I'm just going downstairs. This guy goes out into public with me. This guy gets a lot of use though, and I have a hard time getting rid of it, even though I need to. I need to get more money to buy more knives, guys. But it's hard to get rid of him. He's so freaking fun to use, and K390 is excellent. So yeah, that's it, guys. I really don't have a lot. This is not going to be a very long video, but I will say that this is just a good knife, guys. If you need a work knife, if you need a knife to go into the woods with, it's kind of a relatively thin stock. Oh, you know what? Let me do that. I didn't show you guys the behind the edge. I have not checked this actually, guys, so you guys are seeing. This is at like 17 degrees. That's what I did all these at. 22. So it's not terribly thin behind the edge, but it's a beefy knife, and you don't want it to be too thin behind the edge when you're going into the, work knife. 22. Sorry, I know this is all out of whack here, guys. 21. So yeah, for the stock thickness, which is 0.11, that's not terribly thin behind the edge for that kind of stock thickness. But, you want it to be tough. You want it to be durable as a work knife and something you're taking out into the woods or whatever. But yeah, this is a great knife. And for a work knife, I think it's excellent. Definitely competes with this guy and also the Endura as far as being like a work knife. And it does it well. It does it very well. So I would suggest it, guys. Depending on if you like the aesthetics maybe, or whichever one you think you like better aesthetically, or if you like back locks better than liner locks. I think there's little subtle differences, but I will make a video about it. And thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it. If you guys have yourselves an extra $200 and want to try K390, I would highly suggest this knife. It is an excellent knife. And I hope you guys have an excellent day. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Well, you will see me in the next video. But I look forward to talking to you guys in the next video. I really enjoy this. So have a great day. Thanks for everything. And see you guys soon.